Hey guys, Mike in top lane here with a quick video with my top 5 don'ts for climbing solo queue. Now, these tips might not help you climb right now, but they will definitely help you become better in the long run. From early season 5 to mid season 7, I was hard stuck plat 1 and plat 2. So I took a break from ranked and decided to see how I could make some changes in order to climb. And then I finally got out of plat and into diamond 4 shortly after. So here's just my top 5 don'ts. Number 5, don't try out new things in ranked. So you're going to want to play champs that you think you can show your true skill at. So if you think you're better than the elo you're currently at, play champs that can reflect that. Also, don't play OP champs if you don't normally play them. Every patch there's going to be some OP champs, whatever position you're in. And if you don't play them usually, either practice them in normals, or just don't play them at all. Play something you're more comfortable with. You're going to want to check your champion win rates on OPGG just to see how you're doing in certain champs. You might think you're doing really well on certain champs and that you're just losing games because of your teammates, but that's probably not the case. So if your win rate doesn't reflect that feeling that you have about that champ, you might need to reconsider it. For example, I know people who think they're really good at champs like Lee Sin, Yasuo, Zed, champs that have a very high skill cap, but they're with win rates around 40 to 45%, clear that they're not showing that they're very good, and they're not going to climb. Tip number 4, don't continue to play solo queue if you lose like 2 or more in a row. Take a break, play some flex, play some normals, play an ARAM with some friends. There aren't any players who aren't going to lose 2 or more games in a row at some point, so it's going to happen to you and it's just natural. And you might not think that you're tilted, and that might be true, but you should still take a break so you don't keep loading into games with the wrong mindset. Tip number 3, don't type in chat if it's not absolutely constructive or helpful for your team's chance of winning. If it's absolutely necessary, there is a mute button for a reason, if one of your teammates is being toxic. And when you make a mistake in a game, especially at certain elos like low or high plat and low diamond, there's a very good chance that someone on your team is going to let you know that you made that mistake. And the best way to respond to flame is to not respond at all. Some games, you will have someone who's just going to be toxic and they're not going to care about winning, and they're just going to try to make sure that you lose. And that's okay. You shouldn't let yourself get discouraged if you have no control over it. Also, don't type at or respond to all chat comments. And obvious exceptions for this are at the beginning and ends of games, where you might say something like good luck or GG, but generally the enemy team's only gonna look to tilt you. Also, don't blame your teammates in all chat. If someone's playing bad or being toxic, don't type in all chat. That's just gonna let the enemy team know that you guys aren't working well together, and good players can actually expose that. I'm not gonna lie though, I'm guilty of typing a question mark in all chat if the enemy really makes a boosted play or makes a failed dive on me top lane, because that can actually tilt them and help you. But again, I wouldn't recommend it because it can go back to bite you if you make a mistake as well. Tip number 2, don't try 100% every single game. And I know this sounds pretty dumb because of course you should try and rank games, but if you're giving 100% of effort each game, you're going to be more upset with losses because you just spent 30 to 40 minutes just to lose LP. And you're going to burn out pretty quickly and you're not going to have fun. After all, if you aren't playing this game as a career, you're playing for fun, right? You should get something like 85% of your effort in every game so you can relax and not worry so much about losing, but more about improving. When you're thinking too much about the game and how you really don't want to lose, you can become too stressed and either get tunnel vision or just make more mistakes. And my number one don't for climbing solo queue, don't get discouraged from losses. Learn something from every game, win or loss. You have to remember that there are 4 other real people on your team who might either have a bad game or might be having a bad day and just can't focus. Just remember the 40-20-40 rule about League. Assuming that you're playing okay and not feeding, you will win about 40% of your games due to either your team being better or their team just being worse. And you will, on the flip side, you will also lose 40% of your games due to your team being worse or their team being better. And the last 20% of your games will depend on how you play. Now, you obviously won't have that exact ratio, but you will have something like that. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this video, and I'll see you guys around.